Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon, people. This is the Urban Conservative, and you are tuned in to the Wrongfully Convicted. Last week, we talked with Robert Davis, and he told us his story, and he's back again this week because we're going to continue the story. So we're going to leave off where we left off last week, Robert, and I want to talk about primarily, just a recap, just a short recap of your situation and of your story for people that haven't maybe heard the first episode. So just to get just a short recap.
Hey, how everybody doing? My name is Robert Davis. I'm from Akron, Ohio. I'm wrongfully incarcerated for murder. I'm not gonna fight that I had nothing to do with whatsoever. Wasn't involved. Did not do it. Right now, I'm just in the process of getting my story out there to everybody, so y'all can hear about my innocence. My case so crazy that I'm not even supposed to be in jail. Like, so much evidence that have been came out that supports that I'm not supposed to be in here. I'm just still here. So the guys and everybody just continue to fight with me and just support me. I got here with everything going on, just help me share and get the word out. I can come on.
We talked last week, Robert, especially about, during trial and the evidence I really want to get into the evidence because literally there is no evidence. It was all hearsay and third party statements. So that's what I really want to get into today and to show people and especially the wrongs that were done in your court case, in your trial. So when we talk about the evidence against you, it was literally the only evidence they had was the person that actually pled to the shooting, and that was it, right?
All right. Yeah. Only evidence is his testimony. After he lied 3-4 times, that's the only thing they convicted him for was his testimony. About that.
And I know from talking with your attorney that he recanted as well, DeMarcus, right? Recanted his statement and even knew that what he was signing, that he was, that he had committed perjury on the stand. And that still wasn't enough to overturn your conviction because the judge didn't believe his statement. Now, how did that make you feel that, somebody's out coming telling the truth after lying and the court still won't take that as that he went up there and lied and perjured himself?
For real, it surprised me. I was just like, dang, I'm like, cause this the only evidence against me. And y'all knew from the jump he was lying. So for to be patient and finally wait for everything to just come out, and then it finally come out. And now y'all trying to say, well, I don't believe this. I believe the first statement he gave. Well, shit, which one of those statements y'all believe? Because it's 4 of them. It's 4 statements. So now that he coming forward telling the truth, y'all telling me he's not credible. But he is credible to convict him.
Right.
Like, I don't get that part. I don't get that part of the system. Like, and then like, there's so many feelings involved. Like, there's like, it ain't nothing in the motion that say, oh no, I'm denying off this case or I'm denying off this. It's all just a personal opinion. Like, cause she a judge, she feel like her opinion more valuable than mine, or more valuable than the truth. Right? Cause she wants the truth, around some big words. The truth is the truth. She wasn't there. I wasn't there. He was there.
Right.
Why can she tell him she lying? He lying.
You know, your attorney Kim Carell brought up a good point too, of that. You know, he went on the stand and lied with nothing to lose, and told the truth with everything to lose, and they preferred to tell the lie where he had nothing to lose but to gain. And that's what the weird part for me is, because why wouldn't they take his statement, you know, his recanted statement, and he has everything to lose, but yet they took his statement and believed it in court, and he had everything to gain. You know, so I really want people to really think about that and ponder, because right, when is right is right. You know what I'm saying? And
they wanted that conviction on their personal record. Because this how he told the truth about that. The prosecutor got on the stand and they asked him like, and like after these times that we got right here, y'all talking to him, how y'all talk to him again? And the prosecutor like, yes, we had. So the other prosecutor talking to him like, so can you elaborate what that meeting was about? He like, yeah, we perking for trial. And she like, excuse me? He like, yeah, we perking for trial. She said, can you elaborate on those perking for trial? He like, yeah, we'll go over the testimony. We'll go over the testimony, ask some questions, prepare him for the hot seat for the defense about to have on him for the multiple statements that he made. So the prosecutor like, did you record this? So he like, no, I didn't record this. No, I apologize. I did not let Mr. Davis lawyers know about this. I let Mr. Williams lawyers know, but they declined to be there. The judge stopped the hearing. She said, all right, we're going to stop the hearing right there. Called my lawyer and the prosecutor in the chambers and carried him out and dismissed him off the stand. Why are you dismissing him off the stand? You dismissed him off the stand because he's about to expose something that he wasn't supposed to expose, so I feel like you just stopped it just in time. Because this y'all star witness.
Right.
What y'all prepping for trial for? He the witness. He was there. He did it. Y'all prepping for a trial so they could get the conviction of me. So they get the conviction of me because they knew without him, without the lies he told, they knew I would never got convicted of this crime. So like, you know, they just do a little curveball in there, like, so like, it's just all personal. Like, it's just all personal. Like, there's no evidence or facts that, no, yeah, Robert Davis belonged to be in jail.
You know, I want people to know as well too, is that you are the one that turned yourself in. You were the one that didn't run from right these charges because you were innocent. There was nothing to hide, so there was no reason for you to run. And you know, I don't know if a lot of people, you know, aren't informed of, you know, how the streets work, but usually, you know, that's not, you know, when you do the right thing, sometimes people look at that and look, oh, he's snitching, you know, especially when you're released, instead of just, you know, you walked out of there because you didn't do nothing and they couldn't prove you did nothing. So that's why you walked out of there. You didn't walk out of there because you made a deal. That's not how it works. People need to stop watching TV so much.
They got this little movie stuff all the way mixed up.
Right.
You walk into a police station and you say anything about a crime, you're under arrest.
Right.
If you admit being involved any kind of way or anything, you're under arrest. Like, I turn myself in because I ain't had nothing to do with none of this. So I'm like, you know what? Well, I ain't did nothing. I ain't got to look for me. I'm right here. And just how you said, like, people think you turn yourself in because you snitching.
Right.
That's how it will happen in this case. People just got to throw their little opinions out there, you know, throwing everything out there, and the streets put their own story together, and that's what happened. They ran with it. And now everybody looking crazy when all the actual paperwork come out, And the only thing Robert Davis saying is his whereabouts. This is my whereabouts. Like, this is what I did.
Right.
Like, the police could twist whatever they want to twist about this case. This is what I did. And that's why I walked out interrogation. Then when they put the arrest warrant back out for me, I shot myself in again. I still ain't did that.
Right.
I still ain't getting it. But like, it comes to the point like it don't even be about evidence. It's about that their personal reputation. It's be about the convictions.
It'd be about the conviction rate, right?
Yeah, because like the female Alicia Lundy, now she's the one who gave up the statement and said like, you know, I came out the house playing to me and everything, and she ain't know who I was, but because she had to learn my name on the news, right?
Yeah.
They told her out of every witness, they made every witness they state witness.
Okay.
They told her not to even come. They're like, oh yeah, you don't gotta come. You don't gotta worry about that subpoena. But my lawyer subpoenaed her, so she could tell her testimony. Like that's when I knew. I'm like, oh yeah, they probably really have not. They don't really care about the truth. They just want this conviction. That's when I knew. I'm like, oh, okay. And that's why after every witness was testifying, the prosecution still went and prepped DeMarcus for the stand because they know the whole case about to fall on his testimony. And like he had everything in game. Like, you feel me? I don't
Right.
licenses. I get to come home. Like he stayed on there. Like I got a daughter. I'm trying to come home and see my baby. And look right now, at home. No worries.
Right.
With his baby, living the life you want to live. And that was the whole reward from the jump. That's what it was about, coming home and be able to live it. Like, and it's just so crazy, bro. I thought you ain't did nothing, you don't go to jail.
Right.
Well, I learned something new.
You know, and that's the most crazy part out of all of this. And I hope people are learning when there's literally people that are locked up and they've literally executed people that are innocent, that had no parts of crimes or any of that, and ran off a narrative instead of facts. And then when the facts do come out, we still don't want to correct the wrongs that are done, because if we wanted to correct the wrongs, Robert Davis would be free right now. He would be out with his daughter. He would be out with his loving family that really care about this man. And yet his people are, instead of enjoying time with him, they have to fight for his freedom. They have to spend money for his freedom. That's not right. That's not right. And that's one thing that I really want people to, when they are listening, how did the system go wrong? Because the system didn't go wrong. The system is designed to work how it's working. We have to change that system because we keep on allowing young brothers, young sisters to be incarcerated and they're innocent. How many more stories do we have to hear like Robert Davis? We shouldn't have to hear any of them. We shouldn't have to have innocence projects for when people are actually innocent. They should just be able to be free when there's no physical evidence, when there is no forensic evidence, when there is no, when people lie on the stand and perjury. Perjury is a crime. And I'm not trying to get this brother in trouble, this DeMarcus. That's none of that. What I want is Robert to be free, because Robert was wronged. Robert is an injustice. And one thing that people should live on, like Martin Luther King said, like Malcolm X said, an injustice anywhere is an injustice everywhere. Because we should all be standing behind Kim Correll and Robert Davis in this fight. We should be standing behind anybody that is innocent and that they have no physical, no forensic, no evidence, period. And yet they're sitting behind bars.
Sitting here, innocent. All life about to change. It's like, it be so crazy because I be sitting when I think about like everything that happened, everything that's continuing to happen. It's just like, yeah, I'm about to be free. No matter how much more time it take. At the end of the day, it ain't gonna be the same freedom I had when I was just home.
Right.
It ain't gonna be the same love from my family members or even from Phil's family. Show me that they didn't have for me.
Right.
It ain't gonna be the same, and people's personal opinions still gonna be involved to where I'm gonna always have to watch on my back behind this situation, innocent or not. So it's like me prove my innocence to the system and never be able to prove my innocence to the world. You get what I'm saying?
No, I definitely do. And I would hope that, you know, when you either before your release date or you're set free, man, that, you know, your name is clear not only in the courts, but on the streets, because I hope that DeMarcus is out there uh, saying that he was the one that was bogus and not you. You know what I'm saying? Because I know the streets is a little bit more way dangerous than dealing with the court system. Yeah, the court system can lock us up, but the streets can literally take your life over a lie. And
Mm-hmm.
you know, that's one thing that, you know, we see a lot of. And I'm tired of the BS. I need people to get involved. I need people to reach out to Attorney General Yost and Ohio. I need people to reach out to Governor DeWine, because we need, this brother needs to be free. He needs to be free. You know, and what have you one because I just don't want to talk about, you know, your past. What have you done to better yourself? You know, did you take advantage of this fucked up situation?
I mean, yeah, since I've been in jail, you know, with jail, like you only can do certain programs.
Right.
Certain programs, like you gotta have a certain amount of time left before you can do the program. But I done took thinking for a change, anger management, victim awareness, took NAAA. Like I also sat down, you know, and just better my mental period. Like just my outlook on life is just totally different. Now I
Right.
understand the value of my life. Like at first I didn't understand it. I'm just out there, you know, living day to day for the moment. Now that I see and I have learned that my whole life really could be taken away from me, like, and I could never be released at that moment too, like, it just opened my eyes to the value of life. So since I've been down, like, you know, I try to, you know, stay in better relationship with my family. I wrote 3 books since I've been in jail, and I'm just, you know, focused on fighting this case to like prove my innocence. Like every chance I get, I speak about my case. Like it's so unreal to me. Like
Right.
what more do I have to do to prove my innocence, to gain my freedom back? There's no evidence against me. Nothing right now. There's no way they could come to court and be like, well, we got this on you now. Now I won't got nothing, and I'm just still in prison. The only thing I do like now is just I'm more like head forward to my little cousins, like, because they out there, you know, and they young and they growing. So I mainly just talk to them and open their eyes about this life that they don't want to live. Like, so it's not cool waking up in no bathroom and everything.
Right.
They wake up in the bathroom knowing you're supposed to be free, knowing no matter what situations happen, you can't do nothing because you're in here. But you know, it mentally strengthens you know. My mental definitely strong. I was just in the maximum security prison.
Right.
2021, 8.5 years, Lucasville. Pretty sure some people probably heard about it, or a lot of people probably heard about it. Lucasville, worst prison in Ohio.
Right.
Worst prison, maximum security. I just did 8.5 years down here, and it was like I was going through the motions of learning myself. Like, you know, I went from a high head to calm down to where I was able to really elevate myself to get myself from down there. And now I'm in a lower security prison. So now it's just like, it's just all about just staying focused, fighting this fight, getting my story out there, hoping people stand with me and, you know, be the voice where I can be the voice that so I can get out of prison. Like, that's what I've really just been focusing on, just giving all my energy to.
No, and you know, I don't know if a lot of people have seen the show For Life. It's about a man who is wrongfully convicted, just like Robert, and in prison became an attorney, and then fought for other wrongfully convicted people. And I want to know some, because your lawyer spoke very, very highly of you as educated. And have you learned, like, through the law books? Have you been in the law library?
Yeah. I was going to the law library all the time in Lucasville, but the prison I'm at right now, it ain't really too much of a law library like that. But like, yeah, I definitely had to learn a few things. Like, because it would make me really get into the law. I got convicted of murder and aggravated robbery with no gun specifications. Not guilty of weapons or disability. They dropped all my complicities and went to trial for murder and aggravated robbery. So I don't know if they're thinking like, dang, how is this possible? And I got to reading the elements of murder, elements of aggravated robbery. I'm like, dang, I don't even match up to none of this.
Now,
it intrigued me to really just start like reading the law and really studying.
I want to ask a question, because you weren't found guilty on all three charges, were you?
No, I was only found guilty of murder and aggravated robbery.
Now, the one that you weren't found guilty on, what charge was that?
Weapons under disability.
Right. So possession of a firearm, right? Is that what that law is? So how did you get convicted? This is the one thing that I'll never understand, is how did you get convicted of murder and armed robbery, but yet got found not guilty on the weapon?
Man, I don't know. I'm still trying to figure that one out too.
Right.
But I learned that they had used the complicity theory.
Okay.
Where they say like, oh yeah, you're not the shooter, but you was an accomplice to the shooter. But then I'm like, all right, if y'all using that theory, why did y'all go to trial for complicities? And y'all went to trial for this murder? I don't add up. Like, it don't.
No, and it doesn't, because I've read your transcripts and I haven't been able to like read statements or actual things like that. But reading the original casework up and everything, the things that really triggered me out of all of that reading it was things that weren't brought up at trial. Why weren't fingerprints done on in the car? Why wasn't the car brought up at trial? Because those were, I felt like, as reading that and knowing a little bit about law, and I know your lawyer had a law license. So it really baffles me of why certain things weren't brought up. And I know it has to be frustrating, because as somebody that's sitting right next to somebody that has to supposed to be fighting for your life, but yet isn't fighting, you feel like fighting the right way. And then when you get to the appeal process, how did all of that feel when let me take this back for a minute, because when you were found guilty, how did you feel? You there? Shit. Robert? Oh, damn. All right. Hold on. He should call right back. So I'm just gonna put on a little video real quick until he calls back. I really didn't have nothing else planned. I just wanted to get his story. I want to really get Robert's story out, because he does definitely need to be free. Definitely needs to be free. Oh, here he is right here. We won't even go to a break. Hold on. Yes, sir.
Yeah, hello.
Yep. Nope.
Yeah, I just lost signal.
No, that's what I figured. That's what I figured it was. You just lost signal. But the question that before you lost signal is, when you were found guilty, because did you have a jury trial or did you have a bench trial?
I had a jury trial.
So you were found guilty by what they want to call a jury of your peers.
Yeah,
right.
They peers.
Right. They peers. Right. Right. So how did you feel when how long did they deliberate before they came back with a verdict?
I I think they deliberated for like 7.5 hours or something like that. But like when they deliberated, my lawyer came back and told me after everything was read and stuff. My lawyer went and talked to him. So they deliberated about my co-defendant for like 30 or 45 minutes. They had his jury verdict form signed guilty. The rest of the time, they were deliberating solely on me. And my lawyer said that they went and talked to the judge like a couple of times, like, because they couldn't come to no decision at first. And that's what makes it add up. Like, okay, that's why I was found guilty of murder, aggravated robbery, no gun spares, or no weapons of disability, because they was like torn. Like, I really want to know what certain things were said. It makes me wonder, like, what was said, like, what was being said that they signed these verdict forms when everything didn't even add up. But they said I ain't had no gun or nothing. But you know, the complicity theory, wherever the perpetrator got on him or whatever, you do it with a gun. As you being an accomplice, you're supposed to get the same, you know, charges. And like, it's a case like, I met my dude, his name Alan Lawless, and his case similar to mine. Like, him and his co-defendant, they had did something, but the one co-defendant did it, and he got tied into it. Like, he got tied into it. But when they went to trial together. They both was found guilty of aggravated murder, aggravated robbery, weapons on disability. But his case was similar to mine because didn't nobody put him at the scene of the crime or nothing. But they say he had something to do with it and facilitating the whole robbery. He had something to do with facilitating the whole robbery. But like, so when I be putting my situation on his situation, or you know, allegedly they say we not there, but we had something to do with it. All right. But my charges is this, and I got found guilty like this, but he got found guilty like that. Similar scenario, just different incidents. Right. So it'd be like, I just be torn, like the system, to me is like religious. No matter what, they could point out something to where they justify their decision. Right. Right. They just could point out everything to show you what they trying to tell you. Oh yeah, this what happened. I could prove right here. It said like this, and that's what the system like. They protect their own. Or we gonna stand by our judge decision. Or we gonna say because of this reason, we gonna affirm her decision. But where the facts at? Right. Where is the facts in this case? They found two bullets that wasn't used in the car. They found two bullets that wasn't used, but Field got shot with the same similar type of bullet. They find, come fingerprint, get my DNA. Ain't no none of that. And fingerprints not on the car, fingerprints nowhere. Nobody could say, oh, your memory was right there at this car at this time. One female lied, but she told y'all the reason why she lied and why she came forward and like, no, I lied because I thought this. And I go all the way back to the police. Tell them what they want. Tell them what they want you to hear so you can give them what they need to know. Like, when I lost trial, I was empty, shed my little tears, just knowing I'm about to just lose everything behind something I really didn't do. Something I really didn't do. That's what hurt it the most. Everything else just was a blur. Right. That was just a blur. That ain't even matter. But when I got sentenced, it was something different. I ain't even had no feeling. Right. I ain't feel bad or nothing. I knew I was standing in front of the judge about to get whatever time she about to give me for something I didn't do. But not to be disrespectful to the victim's family, I didn't even say what I what I should have said. I ain't even say my words. Like, I ain't even speak my words. I spoke what my lawyer wanted me to say. For better mercy, judgment, whatever, from the judge. I said them words to get 15 with an L instead of making it to where I could have got 25 to life.
Right.
Life. Feel me?
Because you have a parole hearing coming up as well, too, don't you?
Yeah, it's I don't want to be penitentiary.
Right. No, and I feel you. I you know, to be honest, that's something that I hated to even ask, but I know from looking up, you know, your record or whatever that you did have, I think it's 2024 or 25 that you had one. But I'm trying to get you out before that. So
I'm trying to get out before then.
Right. You know what I'm saying? So I wanted people to know that you did have, you know, a parole date that there is, but it shouldn't have to come to that, you know, because you're an innocent man, and it shouldn't be that you're paroled. It should be that your conviction is wrongfully overturned, right? Exonerated, you're free, right? So, and that's the goal. And if anybody has any ways of, you know, helping to exonerate Robert, please, we're honestly open for ideas. I know that, you know, every law and our state laws are different in every state. So if you are Ohio, you know, resident, and you know the laws, you know how to, you know, maybe do petitions and things like that, please reach out, because we really want to free Robert Davis, and we want to free him now. We want to free him ASAP. So, like T.I. would say, expeditiously. Um, so, anything that anybody can do. He does have an attorney, does have a team. So we're fine there. What we need is awareness on Robert's story, and we need people to get Robert's story out there. We need Robert's story to be in the right hands for people to do the right thing. You know what I'm saying? So I do want to continue, you know, talking with you some more. And, you know, we just left off of, you know, with the sentencing, because I don't really think people fully understand, you know, when you're sentenced and that sentence comes down, then you got to start a process, you know, and that process sometimes is a timely process, and it always doesn't maybe not work in our favor. And I want to know, because I know there's a lot of people that are innocent that don't fight like you do, that just sit there and take it. So what has been your inspiration and your motivation of not giving up?
My family, my nieces and nephews, my sisters. Like, they need me. I'm my mom's only boy.
Right.
I can't just lay down and stay away from her like this. I can't do that. And for myself, I'm gonna prove everybody I'm innocent, no matter what opinions, thoughts they got about it. I'm prove it. I'm self-motivated. I'm just driven. Like, I ain't about to lay down in here and be comfortable and just be like, yeah, no, I ain't do nothing. Right. My family keep me going. Like, they're behind me 100%. So as long as I got them, they staying in my ear and they staying on me, hey, we fight this out all the way to the end. Even if we gotta walk to a board or whatever, just know the whole time we going there, we've been fighting for my innocence. So that's what's going on.
No, there's you know, you just made a statement of that you'll never stop fighting to prove that you're innocent. And did you ever really have to fight certain people? Because looking at everything, you're innocent. There is no evidence, you know. So that's one thing of, like, for me, of hearing to, you know, hear you say, you know, fight for your innocence. You are innocent. And it's like, there's no evidence proving that to you, that you were had any type of involvement. Only thing they have is hearsay, people's lies that convicted you. So I feel like you've already proven your innocence. The only thing is that the system stole you.
Right.
And now we have to break you out. We have to work at getting you out from a system that stole you. Basically, that's how I feel like the system kidnapped you.
They hold me for ransom.
Right. You know, and we,
For real.
you know, because I'll be 100. There's no different than what Ohio did than what we see out here with, you know, kidnappers, sex traffickers. The only difference is one is a government and the other one is people that look like us.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So I really want people to really think about that, because this is an innocent man sitting behind bars for no reason other than what? To keep somebody locked up for political aspirations? For what?
That's it.
You know what I'm saying? Because he's innocent, and there's no evidence, no forensic, no physical, nothing, no statements, because them statements are lies. So them ain't even statements. So there's nothing that proves that this man, Robert Davis, had anything to do with a murder, a robbery, other than people lying and putting his name in it, because he didn't run. He faced that he had a warrant. And when they put another warrant, he didn't run, he didn't hide. He ran to tell the facts of his story, that he had nothing to do with it. And yet people, the streets conspired and our government conspired to lock this man up, because the shooter's home free. The man that actually did the crime is home free, while the man that didn't and got included because he went and did the right thing is locked up. That's not right.
That's sick,
It is, and it makes me, you know, I honestly, as somebody, you know, that's behind bars, you know, I actually did the shit that, you know, I was behind bars for. So to see that, I don't know how it feels to be behind bars and to get into a routine, and you know that you don't deserve to be there, because you shouldn't have to get into no damn routine, especially behind bars.
Oh man, things that come with this, it's gonna be relieved when I'm free, bro. That's it. Like my thinking behind here for something I do is like, I gotta get out. I
Right.
ain't supposed to be here. Everything I do in here, I'm like, I gotta get out. I ain't supposed to be here. Whether I'm happy, mad, or sad, I gotta get out. Like, you know, always what makes me so angry about everything, though, because there's no way to fight this case no other kind of way. Like, literally, there's nothing else to fight this case. Nothing, because there's nothing against it. It ain't like I'm like, okay, they said this, then now they saying this. They said they found this. Oh, but if this DNA was found, it ain't nothing. The whole thing was this statement by my co-defendant. I ain't came calling my co-defendant because I ain't even do this.
Right. Yeah. Please stop. Yeah. Stop calling your co-defendant.
You feel me? I can't
right.
Because I ain't even do
you
it.
ain't right.
The person they convicted me with because of his testimony. That's the only way to fight this case. So when he came forward and admitted and told the truth, I just knew that all right, it's over. Now I gotta fight everybody else appearance. Like, I want to ask Allison McCarthy to her face, like, what evidence is you keeping me in jail on? Miss McCarthy, tell me, what evidence are you keeping me in jail on? Like, cause I don't read it. I don't see it.
Right.
I don't like what's going on. Like, I love Kim, like, cause she's so passionate about what she's doing. She a fighter.
Right.
Like, she don't be wanting to get overworked, and overworked up. Like, but I be getting excited. I be getting happy. She's like, but you know, we still like this. I'm like, I know, Kim. It's cool. I got you. As long as I got a fighter with me, we gonna win one of these days.
Right.
See, they doing all this denial and all this. They doing all this because they want me to give up. They want me to just, all right, quit fighting. Like, this the only evidence we know that was against you. You just proved it. Like, you just proved to us, like, he was lying. He just said he was lying. Like, all right, but we still gonna keep you locked up. So what you gonna do now? You know? And by me knowing my case, knowing there's no other way to fight this case, I just like, damn. I'm like, hey, you know what? I'm gonna just get my story out here. I'm gonna just, I'm gonna just need to be heard. Cause there's so many people, like you said, going through the similar situation that ain't heard, that just laying down.
Right.
Or don't got the support I got or the resources I got to get their story out there. Like, I'm telling everybody that I talk to, like, don't give up. Like, every case got their loopholes. You just gotta know what you're fighting for.
Right.
Like, everybody not innocent, but at the same time, everybody don't deserve the time that they got either.
Right.
Like it's a lot of things like going on in the system, like, with allied offenses, time that's supposed to be ran conservative, ran consecutive, like it's a lot. Like, but you gotta know the fight you fighting though. You gotta know, like, oh yeah, I did this, but I ain't deserve this when I know I can get this. Like, a lot of cases or technicalities in Ohio could be overturned, but like, it ain't too many of the right lawyers here. That's for a job that's like really got the passion that Kim got, like really fighting for their clients, like going up and beyond to prove like he's not supposed to be in jail or he don't deserve to go to jail. You feel me? Like, I'm just so happy I found her and I got the support that I do got. Like, the way I found you, like, I'm on Facebook and I see journalist Shay. That's what I see. I inbox her like, man, is you a real journalist? Like, is you a real journalist? She's like, yeah, yes I am. I got to just talking with her, building with her, telling her about my case. She's like, you know what? As long as you're not lying to me, I'm going to help.
Right.
And, she connected me with Silk connected me with you. Now I got a whole nice little support team. You feel me?
Right, and that's not even
for my innocence, though.
Right.
To fight to get my story out there, like, not just go talk about her, like, oh no, you feel like we're gonna try to do this. No, it's an actual fight now.
Right.
And I thank all of y'all, like you, Shay, Silk, my mama, my sisters. Thank all of y'all just for the support, like just, let me know I ain't fighting this by myself. Even if I didn't have you, I was gonna still fight.
Right.
Easier to have people fighting with you. Really? Like,
no, and that's the one thing that I stated to you, when we first started talking, man. Don't be afraid to hit me up because I understand. You know what I mean? And I may not fully know how that experience feels, but I know how it feels to be behind bars. And I know how it feels to when you got people that believe in you. So I believe in you. And that's why me, the Leon Block, Silk, Shay are doing everything and anything that we can do to help to not only get you free, but to also hopefully that this helps others. Because there's a whole boatload of wrongfully convicted, wrongfully sentenced, over sentenced individuals, and it's going to take us the people to fight back because they need us. Just like these kids out here need us in the streets to steer them right. There's still people, even that they're adults, they still need us to fight for them. So I really want people to, when they think about that, to think about that as well. And we are going to do a part 3 with Robert, and I want to say about 2 weeks, maybe a little bit sooner, because he does have, court dates coming up, and I do want to, I want to talk about that. But before we do, I want to talk to his attorney to know what's okay to talk about and what's not, because I don't want to mess up anything that they have going. And I don't know Ohio laws like that. So I did say that, I would talk with Kim before we did part 3 because I didn't want to mess anything up for you. So yeah, she did say that. So I'm hoping that with I did tell her that, the next one will be in 2 weeks. So I'm hoping that, she doesn't have anything going because she said she'd be more than welcome. She'd be happy to come on. So
we gotta get with her and just see what her schedule like.
Okay.
No, she gonna be free.
Okay, I would. You know what I would do? I would message her actually when we get done, and I will see what her schedule is like in 2 weeks. And it doesn't even got to be on a Wednesday. We'll just do it in 2 weeks, whatever day works her schedule, uh, and do it that way because I think people need to hear from Kim so that they can get a better understanding.
Right, on a professional side.
Right, somebody that went to school and can because by just us telling, you know what I'm saying, but somebody that actually knows the laws and you know what I mean? Right.
Certain laws and
because I actually learned a lot from the conversations that I've had with Kim, and I think people really need to wake up that the 13th Amendment did free us, but the 14th Amendment enslaved us again. So is there anything that you want to say before we get off here today, Robert?
Yeah, I just want to say thank you to everybody who's listening, and I appreciate y'all taking your time out your day to listen to me. I just ask that everybody out there that's listening, just reshare my story and post it, you know. Get everybody involved that y'all can. On Facebook, John Snow, I'll put it under the comments. So if y'all have any questions or any advice, y'all can just inbox me and I'm going to answer everybody. So it don't matter what question it is, no matter what, just inbox me and ask me any advice you got. I appreciate it. And I just thank y'all for listening once again. And, you know, in the end, we will prevail. We will prove that Robert Davis had nothing to do with Philip Anderson's murder. And I've been saying it from the beginning, and I'm going to say it all the way until it's over with. And just thank y'all for being here and listening to me.
Before you get off too, I want to send me your information because I'm going to put it up so people can write too. Because I want people to know. I want people, if they're comfortable writing, to write Robert. You know, if it's, you know, maybe you're not comfortable messaging him, but comfortable writing. So he is going to give me that information, and I will post that so people are able to write Robert. And like I said, Robert, you know, you can always hit me. You have, and we've had great conversations, and I want to keep that going because you're not alone. I want you to know that there is people out here beyond Kim and your family that are fighting for you, and that I'm not going anywhere. So you're stuck with me. You're stuck with the Leon block. So thank you, and I hope everybody please share this. Please make awareness to Robert's story. And until next time, we will be back. So thank you, Robert, and thank you, everybody that listened today.
Every day, fighting for my life. Every day, fighting for my life. Fighting for my life. Fighting for my bread. Grew from the seed you thought was rock. I think not. Fire bred desire to rise above denial. To rise from former ashes to face new trial. Trial or triumph. I am enough. Trial to triumph. I am enough. Every day I fight for my life. Every day fighting for my life.